Denver Mayor Michael Hancock released the city's close to $1.4 billion proposed budget this week. Housing affordability, eviction assistance, behavioral health, and increasing the police force are among the many issues addressed in the plan. John, you have reported and seen a lot of city budgets. This is a good year. Everyone's excited about the revenues coming in. We're growing, so it's a big budget. What did you think? Did anything stand out to you as a major issue or game changer in the budget presented this week?
I thought this was like, the way he's proposing this, there's 7 different topics, 7 different venues for money to be used in. And this is like going to a Chinese restaurant and ordering 2 from column A and 1 from column B. You can vote on different things and you can have mix and match and choice. But I don't think anybody knows where and how much each one of these is earmarked for. You know, we've still got these lingering, you know, white elephants, taking I-70 underground and the National Western Stock Show redo. We're missing out on all the Gaylord taxes that we could have been a partner on if we'd have moved the National Western out there. Instead, we're going to take over neighborhoods. We're going to take over buildings that are 100 and some years old, and we're going to try to bring them up to date. Many of them can't even be brought up to date. And then you've got the golf course issue and the ditch and everything else. So there's a lot of different things. I'm just not sure that this is the right time. I mean, we're riding high right now, but everybody, you know, on Wall Street is saying the crash is coming. Now taxpayers are going to be hit again for another $1 billion. I still am an advocate of seeing what we have done with bond issues over the last 5 or 6 years. Where is a report card on what money has been spent on and what projects have really come together? I mean, I will give the city a good mark for doing all the street repairs that have been going on in downtown. Colfax has never been smoother. It's amazing. But this budget, I think, is over the top, and I would urge everybody to say no. That's my thought.
Okay. Ian, Mayor Hancock has been getting a lot of national attention. He's a mayor with leading a growing national city, so the attention makes sense. Does this budget match the aspirations of our city?
I think it's an incredible time to live in Colorado. It's an incredible time to live in Denver, the metro area. I mean, we're booming. It's great. John's right. I mean, there's always terror on the other side of the horizon, so you got to be careful. You got to plan smart, right? But this is an innovative budget in a couple of ways. There's some interesting things in here. This $500,000 fund for helping folks with rental assistance or moving out or paying their heat bills and all that. I think it's interesting, and it's not just going towards folks like sort of at the very bottom of the income poll. It's sort of in the middle, and that's something that people in the middle income bracket generally don't see a lot of help from the government. It either goes in tax breaks to rich people or handouts and assistance to people with low incomes. So I think that's an interesting thing. Affordable housing is a huge issue in this town. The legislature dealt with the construction defects issue last year, so we're supposed to be seeing all these wonderful condos popping up everywhere. I don't see them yet, but I'm waiting.
Well, they're great. They're starting in the mid 700s.
Fantastic. I thought affordable was the word we were going for here. So I think these are worthy causes and worthy endeavors, but I think John's right. Being skeptical and looking at the details, I think, is going to be really important for councilors and voters and everybody who has a chance to weigh in on this budget going forward.
Patty, did anything stick out to you as a big issue that our viewers need to know more about?
Well, they should look at all of it and try to figure out exactly what it takes to run a city and are the added things they want. It is difficult to look at it right now and think, okay, what happens if that $900+ million in bond issues isn't passed in November? What won't we get? What priorities should there be? Because this budget is based on those all passing, and those were all based on a lot of needs we have. But I will counter John at one point. If you look at the Building a Better Denver website that the city set up after the bonds were issued 10 years ago, you can actually see where those bonds have gone. Some of them, I think, went where all the voters hoped they would. Some maybe took a little bit of a turn, say the Betcher bonds, but you can see where the money's gone. It's just there's so many needs to deal with this increasingly busy, dense, potholed, I must argue if you're not on Colfax, potholed city, and there are some issues you've got to pay attention to.
Mike, wrap it up for us. And $1.4 billion, a billion here, a billion there. Sooner or later, we're talking about real money.
The true level of taxation is whatever the level of spending is. I mean, that's what your tax burden really is. And Denver may be riding a wave right now. But also remember that Denver's also been subsidizing a lot of this growth in pursuit of becoming what, and I hate to be a broken record, I said this last time I was on, in pursuit of becoming a luxury city. There are essentially 2 kinds of cities in this country. There are opportunity cities, there are luxury cities. San Francisco being a great example of a luxury city. Houston actually being a great example of an opportunity city. And Mayor Hancock and a lot of people in Denver made a decision a long time ago that they were pursuing the same kind of policies these luxury cities do. That means that people get left behind when it comes to housing. And now so don't be fooled whenever anyone says affordable housing. They don't mean affordable housing is a house you can afford. They're talking about subsidized housing. And it's not going to be possible to subsidize our way out of what is a housing affordability issue. So you can throw as much money as this that you want, but at the end of the day, this is not going to be the fix.